This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev has warned that normalization efforts will not resume until Armenia changes its constitution to remove all references to Nagorno-Karabakh, insisting also that outside mediators should not be involved in any future negotiations between the two countries. Armenia should understand that nothing can stop us, Aliyev said yesterday during his inauguration for a fifth term in office. If territorial claims against us are not abandoned, if Armenia does not bring its legislation into order, of course there will be no peace treaty, he said. Long-running normalization talks have largely stalled since Azerbaijan's lightning offensive against Nagorno-Karabakh last year, which led to the collapse of the local government and the forcible displacement of nearly all of the region's Armenians. Aliyev continued yesterday, "We have no claims to the territory of Armenia, but they must give up their claims. Blackmailing us will cost them dearly, and everyone can see this." Armenia's constitution references the country's declaration of independence from the Soviet Union, which, in turn, calls for the unification of Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh and for international recognition of the Armenian genocide. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has himself repeatedly indicated his intention to overhaul the constitution, prompting accusations by Armenia's opposition of further appeasement to Azerbaijan. Reacting to Aliyev's remarks, Pashinyan today accused Azerbaijan of seeking new concessions from Armenia through force, warning that the threat of another war is looming. Azerbaijan is saying, "Give me what I want through negotiations, otherwise I will take it through war," Pashinyan charged at his weekly cabinet meeting, adding, "There can only be one reason for this, and the reason could be to launch military actions in some parts of the border, with the prospect of turning this military escalation into a large-scale war against Armenia." Nonetheless, he insisted Yerevan remains committed to seeking a normalization deal with Baku. Russia is planning to raise the issue of allowing Nagorno-Karabakh's Armenians to return to their homes in direct negotiations with Azerbaijan. That's according to a spokesperson for Russia's foreign ministry who confirmed the news yesterday. Preparations continue for the next Russian-Azerbaijani round of talks on the activities of the Russian peacekeeping contingent in Nagorno-Karabakh, Maria Zakharova said, adding, "Among the issues to be discussed are the prospects for the return of the Armenian population to Karabakh with proper provision of their rights and security." Meanwhile, a senior Russian diplomat today called on both Armenia and Azerbaijan to show restraint following this week's deadly escalation along the border, placing blame on the West for spiraling tensions in the region. Russia considers mediation efforts by the United States and European Union counterproductive and may lead to the destruction of statehood, chaos, and destabilization, Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Galuzin told Russia's Izvestia newspaper. To that end, Galuzin called on Armenia to resume cooperation with Russia's regional military bloc, insisting there is no visible alternative to the Collective Security Treaty Organization from the point of view of ensuring Armenia's security. In recent months, Armenia has snubbed a number of CSTO summits, with frustration mounting in Yerevan over Moscow's unwillingness or inability to come to Armenia's defense in line with its treaty obligations. You can also check out the latest episode of CivilNet's weekly Insight series. In this week's broadcast, host Eric Hakopian discusses Azerbaijan's latest attack on Armenia, breaks down the political significance of Haik Marutyan's pledge to run for prime minister, and examines Parliament's most recent moves to tackle domestic violence. The full episode is up now on civilnet.am. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 4. That's the number of Armenian athletes who have in recent days been awarded with gold medals at major European tournaments. They are Greco-Roman wrestlers Malchas Amoyan and Artur Alexanyan, and weightlifters Gor Sahakyan and Alexandra Grigoryan. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.